Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome to the Sompo Deep Cut. There's a moment in every tasting, usually near the end, when your palate has settled and the wine has had a chance to show itself, where you ask the simple but surprisingly delicate question: Is this wine built to last? Not is it delicious, not is it balanced, but does it have the internal architecture to move into something deeper over time? In the D3 tasting exam, this judgment takes the form of a brief comment with just a few marks attached to it: suitability for aging, and give reasons why. But the skill behind that line is one of the most important things you'll ever learn as a wine student. Reading not just what a wine is, but what it can become. When I work with students on this, I always begin with the same idea. A wine ages well only when two things align. It must have the structure to hold itself together and the material to evolve into something more. And every white wine expresses those two conditions differently. Think of an Eden Valley Riesling. High acidity sets the frame. The flavors are clean, citrus driven, precise. But the real magic sits inside the grape. Riesling carries natural precursors that unfold slowly: honey, toast, smoke, petrol, even when the winemaking stays neutral. Nothing needs to be added, nothing needs to be shaped. The variety carries its own arc of evolution. When a wine has both that tension and that depth, the answer is straightforward. Of course, it can age. Now, shift to a Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough. Everything about the wine is bright and immediate: grapefruit, passion fruit, green herbs, all held in stainless steel with no lees, no oak, no intention for development. It's made to be tasted in its first expression, when the fruit is vivid and alive. But the moment those aromatics begin to soften, there's nothing underneath to take their place. And this is such an important lesson. A wine can be vibrant, beautifully made, and extremely high quality, but still not meant to age. Freshness is a destination too. And then there are wines that sit in the middle, the ones that challenge your assumptions. For me, that recently was a Condroux. Viognier isn't known for high acidity, and it doesn't announce itself as an age worthy variety. But when you taste an old wine Condroux that has been pressed gently, aged partly in oak and partly in tank, given full malolactic fermentation, and built with intention, you feel its presence immediately. There's texture, concentration, a finish that doesn't fall away but seems to widen. In wines like these, acidity isn't the only guardian of longevity. Lees, phenolic texture, oak extract, the architect is different, but the potential is absolutely there. And that's why the question of aging potential is never answered by acidity alone. It's answered by balance, material, and intent. When I'm tasting, I quietly ask myself two things. Does the wine have the structure to remain balanced over time? And does it have the depth to become something more? Acidity preserves but doesn't create complexity. Lees and oak give the wine something to grow into. Aromatic precursors determine whether flavors can deepen. Finish length tells you whether concentration is real or superficial. And alcohol, despite its power, contributes warmth and texture, not longevity. It isn't a structural safeguard, and it's one of the easiest misconceptions to fall for. When you begin to look at wines through these lenses, the picture sharpens. You stop relying on stereotypes. Riesling ages, Sauvignon doesn't, Viognier struggles, and you start reading what the wine is actually showing you. Some whites evolve because of variety alone. Some evolve because of winemaking. Some evolve only when everything aligns. And that's the heart of it. A wine doesn't age simply because it can survive, it ages because it can transform. So, in the exam, give the conclusion cleanly. And in the real world, give the wine your attention. Taste the structure, taste the depth, taste the potential. Let the wine tell you where it's headed instead of deciding too quickly where you think it should go. And as you keep practicing, you'll find that aging potential becomes less of a verdict and more of a conversation with the wine. Some bottles whisper their future, some declare it, and some surprise you entirely. What matters is that you stay curious, stay observant, and trust your own calibration. The exam may only award 3 marks for this judgment, but the skill you're building is far more durable than that. It's that awareness that helps you read a wine's trajectory long after the diploma is behind you. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you on the next Deep Cut.